Awesome. Well, thank you all for making it. It's the end of the last day, so I appreciate you guys making it to the presentation. My name is Ashley Crowder. I'm the co-founder and CEO of VNTANA. We are an end-to-end solution to premium mixed reality experiences with data tracking. And today, I'm here to talk about AI and AR and how they really have the power together to transform the customer journey into a frictionless experience that makes them happier and really increases your sales, which is the goal for everyone at the end of the day. I'm sure everyone read the white paper that was released this month by Columbia Business School, and I just love this quote from it that says, advertisers from any sector ignore AR at their own peril. It's going to grow from 68 million to 13 billion by 2025. So we're all in the right industry, which is awesome. And it's true because on average, people watch and are engaged with an AR experience for 75 seconds, which is 2.5 times the amount that they're engaged with traditional media. So if you're a brand or a company that's trying to get someone's attention, AR is the best way to do that right now. And if you're Pokemon Go, you have amazing IP, or a Harry Potter, or some of our clients we work with like Mercedes-Benz, we had a hologram of Roger Federer. Everyone wants to come throw a tennis ball to Roger. If you don't have IP like that, you can still get consumers to download your apps, but you need to provide them some type of utility. And I really like the way they broke this out into these 4 main categories. So environmental visualization, education, navigation, and inspiration. IKEA has been doing this for a really long time, letting you actually see furniture in your home to help make a purchase and increase e-commerce sales. Wayfair is doing this now as well, and I even see party planners using apps like this to show clients what event spaces can look like, which is pretty amazing. Education is a huge, huge potential for AR. On average, if you're interacting with information, you're going to retain 40 to 60% more of that information, which is insane. Every single school needs AR technology. And that's why this Hyundai use case, where they actually made an AR manual, was amazing, because I don't know anyone that's actually read their entire car manual. But this is a fun kind of gamified experience, is that easily more giving information. So if you are a company that has a more complicated product, AR is a really great way to help teach your consumers how to use it. Of course, there's Wayfinding. Lowe's has implemented this AR app in over 400 stores to help people find items. I can't tell you how many times I've been in Home Depot and I can't find anyone to help me find that one specific tool or screw that I need. So I cannot wait for this in more places. There's a startup called Aisle 411 that's helping tons of retailers digitize their stores to help do AR wayfinding, which is great. And then, of course, inspiration. So you've got Converse that lets you actually see their shoes on your feet. And I think earlier this week, we had someone from L'Oreal talking about all the different makeup that you could see on your face. And for those of you who don't wear makeup, you only want to apply once. You're not going to try a million different looks. You're probably going to break out. So that's a really, really great use case for the makeup industry. But then we have artificial intelligence, which is also drastically changing this customer journey. If you are new to AI and want to learn more, I really suggest the book Human and AI. It was released by Dodry and Wilson from Accenture. It really talks about the history of AI, how it's changing the industry today, and how it's going to change the workforce for the future. And they really talk about how this is enabling rapid analysis of customer preferences, so we can really personalize the consumer experience. And we're living in the age of the selfie. Everyone demands personalization. You don't want to be bombarded with ads that don't make sense to you. You want to know exactly what you want. We've already been programmed that way from all the digital ads online. I know that one sweater from Bloomingdale's is following me around the internet. And you have companies that are using this. So Intelligent X is a brewing company that's using conversational commerce, so you can chat with their Facebook app, tell them what you like and what you didn't like about their beer, and they're putting that information into their AI algorithm, which is then deciding what they actually brew, which is pretty amazing. And conversational commerce has taken over, especially in Asia. On WeChat, you can literally order anything and talk to any brand. MasterCard has done a lot with this here, and you're seeing more and more companies on Facebook have those conversational commerce. You can just chat and order something right there. And then you have the major players with the natural language processing, whether it's Alexa, Cortana, Google Assistant, or Siri. And it's really amazing to see how far these have come. 3 years ago, I don't think Siri understood anything I was saying. Now I use her all the time, and it's because we've been training her over time with millions and millions of people. And ComScore actually estimates that by 2020, 50% of all searches will be done by voice command, which is pretty incredible, because that wasn't even an option 5 to 10 years ago. So both of these are drastically changing this customer journey. But the actual journey itself always kind of follows these main steps. It doesn't matter if you're a B2B or B2C company. At some point, your client becomes aware of you. They get interested. You pique their interest in some way. They start to evaluate you and maybe compare you to other competitors in the space. Hopefully, they decide to buy you, and then you keep them forever, and they love you. Unfortunately, it tends to look something more like this. They're happy, and then something happens. You didn't meet their expectations. They're going to try you again, and then some salesperson is mean to them, and they're upset. But maybe you eventually still win them. And part of the reason is we're coming at them with so many different types of technology. You've got the sales team who maybe is selling something that the service team is unaware of. Or the social media and email marketing team doesn't know what's being promoted on the mobile app or the website. Because a lot of companies are still broken up into these silos. So you're not getting this cohesive story and picture and customer service throughout this entire process. So the best way to start is to actually draw out your customer journey. Paul Bogue is a consultant. He has a great blog with a lot of suggestions on how to do this. And these are the main points. So you want to start from your customer point of view. A lot of people have the tendency, if they're in a company, they're looking at it from their company process point of view. And that's going to be often very siloed, and you're not looking at every touch point that customer has. You also really want to look at the different segments of customer. So for a hotel, for instance, you have the business traveler and the family on vacation. They're both your clients. They both might make up a huge % of your revenue, but they have very, very different customer journeys. And then you want to track their emotions throughout. And you want to track their emotions in respect to their expectations of you and what their goal is. So if their goal is to book an affordable hotel room, you need to keep that in mind and how their emotions are affected by attaining that goal along the way. You want to make sure you're capturing all the different touch points they're having with your brand. You're not missing a key one, which could be a really big driver to them making that positive decision to purchase with you. And you want to incorporate performance indicators. So often, you've got to go to a boss to say, look, I've done all this. This is why it matters. The consumer's really upset here. We need to invest in this area. If you can tie that to your company's KPIs, you're going to win that budget much easier because you're going to really tie it to the bottom line of the company. And then a clear infographic is the best way to really communicate this to other people. And so I've got an example. I love this example. It's when you're having to switch internet providers for your house. I have a nightmare of a time doing this every single time. I'm sure many of you have too. Whether it's Time Warner or Spectrum, there's always issues. And so in this map, it shows it's a woman who's moving her family, and she's got to switch internet. So she realized she's switching. Her emotional level is kind of, OK, I'm moving. It's a pain, but we're going to do this. She goes to the website. The website is totally unclear. It doesn't have clear offerings. She doesn't understand what exact service she wants to do. So her emotional experience plummets. She then talks to a friend, gives her great advice. She's back up. She's like, OK, I can do this. I've decided I'm going to call this company. I'm on the phone. All of a sudden, huge wait times. She's the unhappiest she's ever been in this entire scenario. But she's waited. She's finally talking to the person. Now she has to give tons of personal information to this random stranger on the other end of the phone. She feels very uncomfortable. And it's a really long, drawn-out process. But she just really needs internet at this point to do everything else with the move. And then she gets to scheduling the installation and is given a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. window, which I'm sure we've all dealt with. But at this point, she's not calling anyone else and going through that again. And so they made the sale, but she's not a happy customer. Who knows if they're going to retain her for a long time. So the main gaps, it's an unclear product offering on the website. There's a very slow sign-up process, really long wait times for these representatives, and like a non-optimized scheduling installation. So how can we fix this with AR and AI? One way you can do it is anthropomorphism. So this is the fact that humans often attribute human behavior to inanimate and non-human objects. And we actually develop feelings towards them. And we've been doing this for thousands of years. That's why our fables are often with characters. So the tortoise and the hare, they probably weren't even racing. We put that on them. And we developed feelings about them. And in 1944, Hyder and Simmel actually proved this with this really quick study. And so we're going to do this. It's a 1-minute video, and then I'm going to need some of you to answer a question. So we'll play this right now. Okay, so while this is going, who has an idea of what are traits that the large triangle is representing? A bully. Yeah, so multiple people said bully. And what about the small triangle? Yeah, the underdog, right, yeah. And these are literally just shapes moving around on a screen. What if we put actual characters to them? And we actually have emotions. So we didn't like the big triangle. He was a bully, we don't like him, but we're rooting for that small triangle, right? And we like him, we want him or her to win. So advertisers know this. You're more likely to win a customer and keep them if you have a positive character associated with your brand. So we all love the Kool-Aid man, and of course the Pillsbury Doughboy and the little elf that brings us cookies. But now with AR and AI, we can take these to a whole new level. So with AR and VR, we can really bring these characters to life like never before. And with artificial intelligence, we can actually give them a brain so they can talk and communicate with you with natural language processing. And that company chatbot you already have for your website can actually be the brain and have that same conversation. We can integrate facial recognition, so we can actually understand the customer sentiment and have that character respond in a more human-like way. It, of course, can be shared on social media, so you can have a group experience with your friends. And all of that data can be collected into your CRM system to learn from and then improve going forward. So one of the things we've done at VNTANA is we built some middleware to make this easy. So we can connect any chatbot, whether it's Alexa, IBM Watson, Microsoft Azure, or Satisfy Labs, which is one of our great partners. So if you don't have a company chatbot, they can custom build one for you. And we automatically animate a face. And that face can be anything. It can be SpongeBob SquarePants. It could be Roger Federer, you name it. And we have facial recognition built in. So we can understand your sentiment and have that more human-like interaction, meanwhile tracking all of that data so we can learn from it. Whoops. So here's a quick video. Sorry.
Hey, Leslie, I have a meeting with Michael.
Yes. I can see that host in our system. What time is your appointment?
Leslie, my appointment is at 10 a.m.
Please scan your government-issued ID. Thank you. You are approved to enter. Please pick up your entry badge and meet your host on the 12th floor.
Women's clothing can be found on floors 1 to 3.
How can I help you?
Refresh your wardrobe for fall. All new arrivals are 20% off today.
I've updated your itinerary and texted it to your mobile phone.
At 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
So going back to the cable provider solution, we can have an avatar that you can talk to that's the same on the website and mobile, so keeping that consistent. That same AI character can be the person on the phone who's helping you, keeping that consistent throughout. And because it's AI, it can talk to millions of people at the same time, so hopefully that's reducing the waits for you. You can also be using AI to optimize that scheduling system. So bringing these characters to life is one way to really streamline that customer journey and make it more personal. But there's other ways to integrate with AR. So Zara had a really cool activation this spring-summer collection where they actually had empty storefront windows, and you had to hold up your phone, and there was an AR app. You could see the models in the fashion show appear with the newest clothing. Really cool. They got some cool press and some social sharing. But what if that could show me clothes with someone with my specific body type and things that I like, and know that I don't like pink, but I like blues and greens? People are starting to do this. So Aptus is a startup that does AI to help merchandise. And so it can show you the exact right product at the right time in the right context for that person. So all of us walking by that same storefront window could see exactly what would draw us into that store, because that's the huge gap that brick and mortar is having today. Ralph Lauren is also starting to experiment with this technology. They partnered with Oak Labs to build smart dressing rooms. So with RFID technology, they know exactly what clothing you brought into that room, and the mirror automatically shows other items that might pair well with that, and shows different sizes and integrates with the inventory system of the store. So you can request different sizes, and if they're not there, you could just order from the e-commerce site, so you're not going to lose that sale. And then Coca-Cola is partnered with Salesforce and created their new AR and AI app called Einstein. So they have over, I think, 17 million coolers around the world that they keep stocked, which is kind of insane. And how do you optimize that when you have individual local people going to do that? They created this app where you would just hold it up to that Coke machine. It automatically sees what's missing. It sends that into the AI. It looks at past CRM data of what has been consumed in the past year. It also looks at weather forecasting and upcoming promotions and all these other factors that there's no way an individual person could sit there and calculate, and develops the most optimal drinks to put back in that fridge, and then shows the user exactly where to put the drinks via the AR app, which is pretty amazing. I'm so excited about this time we're living in. We have amazing AR, VR tech that we can engage consumers and track all kinds of data and then feed it into an AI system to learn from it and then improve the VR, AR experience, to totally personalize the consumer experience, and at the end of the day, increase your bottom line, which is what we all want to do. Thank you so much, and feel free to email me, and I think we've got 2 minutes for questions.
Actually, we have about 1 minute for
1 minute.
question, but let's see what's on Slido. Not up. Okay, so with that, I'm sure there are more than 1 or 2 questions that people have for Ashley. So if we can, please just give a round of applause to our speaker. Awesome.
Cool, no questions. Oh, 1, okay.
And all right, well, as the next speaker comes up, we'll go ahead and let this gentleman here.
So what are you using, Ashley, to recognize the expressions, track the figures? Is this, I'm assuming it's all optical. Is there something specific that you're using for that?
Yeah, so again, we built Middleware, so we're not a facial recognition company, but we're making it easy to capture that image and feed into a database. So for our brand clients, we're using Google. They're the best to understand, age, gender, sentiment for product preference. For our bank client, however, they've invested millions in crazy biometric authentication. So just by me talking, it knows I'm Ashley Crowder and gives me access to my bank account. So it really depends.